with music festivals. And the big thing that I'm thinking of right now is the example of the whole idea of gun violence and how, especially last year where there was the LA show with Ariana Grande, and then there was just the tragedy that happened there. So I was curious what your thoughts were in terms of how do you think, if you were in the shoes of the people that were managing Ultra Music Festival, like you are envisioning that you want to do for your own shows, what would be like the kind of priorities that you would set to make sure that like safety guidelines are being met?
I'm glad you asked that question. So a part of my research, and any research, is going to be trial and error and failure. So for those of you who know what LinkedIn is, I'm on LinkedIn and I tried to connect with, I got the connections on LinkedIn, but, and so Raymond Martinez, who was the head of security for Ultra Music Festival in Miami, and was a former Miami-Dade County police officer and chief. I emailed him probably about connected with him and messaged him on LinkedIn probably about 7 or 8 times, being really persistent and annoying so that I could talk about security with him, because that was, I think, security at any of these things is really important. Ultra has some of the best security in festival history. As far as I know, nobody was formally charged this year at Ultra with any crimes, and there were no casualties. But a lot of festivals, you see casualties due to drug problems, and Ultra the last couple of editions of Ultra have not had those problems, but with gun violence, it's really, really hard. I mean, it's one of my concerns with downtown, is that Bayfront Park is surrounded by high-rise buildings, right? People love to watch from their balconies and their windows, and they don't have to buy tickets to the festival because they can watch from their window. But anybody could open up one of those windows and start open firing like we saw in Las Vegas. But it's definitely a concerning topic, and I'm not really sure where I stand. Yeah.
You mentioned that part of your research was watching all 72 hours of the festival.
Yeah.
What were the insights that you got from that part of your research?
So if I didn't do any of this research, I wasn't like going through the back end and picking things out and looking at the pros and the cons and the left and the right, I would have said, wow, this is absolutely spectacular. But being that I was in my studio, Ultra live on my monitor, I had my Twitter up here, my Snapchat over here, like tracking everything, Ultra did a really damn good job of making it look like nothing bad happened. It's set after set, seeing some of these DJs threw down absolutely monumental, breathtaking, influential sets that I'll probably spend a couple hours a weekend going back and watching those sets over and over again, just because of how amazing they were. But when you start seeing the social media posts and the tweets and the articles come out, I must have saved, 40 or 50 articles in my Facebook save, talking about aftermath of the festival, transportation issues, people calling this Firefest 2. So from a viewer standpoint and the other 30 million people watching, you wouldn't have, if you were just watching, you wouldn't have known that there was complications. They did a really good job, and from a production standpoint, I thought the festival was absolutely fantastic this year. Bigger fireworks, bigger pyrotechnics, bigger visuals, flames. It just was unreal. I really don't know how to put it. It's so hard to put it into words what it's like to be. And obviously I haven't been to Ultra, but I have been to other music festivals and other dance music shows, and it goes across all the platforms. I don't even know how to explain it. That's how much I love it. Yeah.
Could we see the toadfish again?
So yeah, thank you everybody.
That concludes our presentations for today. Thank you for coming, everyone. just went over like scientists and the elevated stuff and vision. Like showing us
Definitely from your perspective, did you guys have it's also because I always look at all of them.
well, I was actually looking at your I caught like the second half of
So it's out here, right, on a nice day? So, you know, we also have these
How are we feeling now? How do you guys feel?
What's going on? Good to see
The beauty of this is
now you have the whole world.
We're local, right? Oh, yeah. I guess that's.
Yes, you burned it harder.
Right, and it's.
I'm mobile now. We're 4 hours.
Yeah, it was cool because some of that.